Y'all gotta pray for me with these lives, y'all. Look at my light. Look at my light. You see the light in the... I was almost late trying to figure... I was like, I'm going live every week. I got to figure out these lives. You know, my lives are a mess. Look at the light. What do I do about this light? Like, look at that, y'all. Like, this is insane. But guess what, y'all? We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. We might just leave the lights there. Oh, well, if you see it, praise Goddess. What up, y'all? What up, y'all? What up, y'all? What up, y'all? What you guys doing? What you guys doing? We are here live. Fam, make sure you go in my live chat, y'all. Make sure y'all just don't be here spectating. Make sure y'all be commenting in the live. What are we going to talk about today, y'all? Hey, Hillia, what up? Yo, Hillia's the best. I love her. She was like, Ray, I set an alarm. I'm ready. I love her. What up, Hillia? Oh my God. What it do, DJ? Hey, we gotta give mad shout out to Danette, because Danette is who introduced me to who we are going to be talking to today, guys. Her name is Brase Nomad. Hence her name, Brase Nomad. Okay, guys, like, she's brilliant. Wait till you hear her story. And the reason why I'm bringing her on today is because today, I want to talk about, as we're heading towards the end of the new year, I want to talk about fear and anxiety. And I know a lot of people are like, Ray, you don't seem like you're fearful or that you lack confidence or that you have anxiety. Yo, I wake up every morning with anxiety. Okay. I got to lay in my bed and talk myself off the ledge, peel myself from off the ceilings, yo, and be like, Ray, you can do this. You got this. Seriously, y'all, every day. I'm so scared about leaving Paris. I'm so scared about being a digital nomad. And guess what, y'all? I'm going to do it. So I wanted to bring in Brase, because what's so great about Brase is someone who has a similar upbringing as me. And she has somehow made it through all her obstacles, all her wars, all her horrible things that she's been through in her past. And she's been able to van life, be a traveling nurse, y'all. She's a traveling nurse as she van lifes, y'all. And she's newly engaged. And she has a gorgeous house too while she van lifes. So I just think it's so important that we bring her on today and that we just talk about anxiety, fear, and how we move through it. That's right, Danette. The anxiety is real. So let's talk a little bit about my anxiety. What's going to happen when I go to the next place? Am I going to make the flight? Am I going to forget something? Am I going to be safe? As much as I know I'm going to be safe, I even ask myself these things, because look, y'all, when you read certain things and you watch certain things on TV, that stuff gets into your brain. So when I start to see other people asking, like, oh my God, is it going to be safe in Brazil? Oh my God, are you going to, oh, I just said it. Oh my God, I just said it. No, I wanted it to be a secret. Okay, well, you 8, y'all know. Shh. I guess whoever watches the replay too will know. Anyway, the question is, all kinds of questions, you know, am I gonna this, or am I that, or is this gonna happen, or is that gonna happen? So many fears, so many anxieties, and we gotta breathe through it, y'all. We gotta move through it. So how do we do that? Here are 3 things I think that can help me get over my fear. First thing, just doing it. Understanding, secondly, that fear is an indicator that is something that I need to step into, and it's something I need to do. Fear is letting me know that I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. And stepping out of your comfort zone, moving into change, is always a positive thing. Yes? Difficult, but positive. So here we are. What's the third thing I think is? Gratitude. So the first is just do it. Do it. Jump, leap, and the net will appear. Just do it, right? That's the first thing. The second thing, I forgot what it was. I already lost it. But the third thing is gratitude. Gratitude, 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 y'all. If you come from a space of gratitude, it eases the fear, it eases the stress, it eases the anxiety, right? So just do it. Make sure you do whatever you can do to get everything in place. Make sure you dot your I's, you cross your T's. Make sure you do it. And then you step into a space of gratitude and it's going to work itself out, right? So I don't know if Miss Brase is there. Brase, are you there? Are you there? I'm going to add her to the stream, y'all. And we're just going to talk to her. We're going to see everything that she has to say. Danette, thank you so much for like hanging in this chat. And we'll see, how this goes. But Brase, get ready for her story, y'all. This young lady is a rock star and she inspired me. I'm telling you, after last week's live chat, she was in the van with Dinette and we spoke 2 more hours after our live chat last Sunday. So then we started to talk more and I heard her story. I was like, yo, you have got to be on my live stream for the end of the year. Look at this, y'all. This is Paris behind me, y'all. This is beautiful Paris. I know you like, ain't it cold? It's freezing. But guess what, y'all? We gonna be here because I want y'all to see Paris. Paris. All right, y'all. Let's bring in Brase. But before we do, let me do my, what do they call those things? An intro. All right, y'all. Here we go. Oh my God! We got Brase, y'all. We got Brase. What up, Brase? What up, City? How are you?
I am great. I hope it's not too much of an echo. As you stated, I am in my new home, which is not fully furnished yet. So I hope the echo isn't too bad.
I hope not. Let me find out from Danette. Danette, how does the sound going, Danette? Can you let me know, please, sweetie? Can you let us know? What up, Tiffany? Woo, woo! Danette, let us know. How is it sounding, please? Because we just want to make sure that we're not echoing and that we sound good, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, Brase, thank you so. Do you want me to call you Tina Marie or Brase? Which do you prefer, Brase or?
You could just call me Tina. You just call me
Tina. Okay.
Even though my legal
break down
first name is
Brase.
Tina Marie. Oh,
so your legal first name is Marie. Okay. Can you break down Brase though? Because I know there's something specific about Brase.
Yes, I came up with the moniker Brase because it's for me it means belief, reality, adventure, service, and education. The 5 things that my channel was going to produce or portray about myself. And I just try to stay focused on those 5 areas when I create content.
And say them again: belief,
reality,
adventure,
adventure, service, and education.
I love that.
Yes.
Let's talk about belief. What do you mean by belief?
It's one of those things like if you don't have the ultimate belief in yourself, no one else can believe in you. Until you sow that mustard seed of belief in which you want to accomplish or do, then it'll fail. It says plant it or build it and they shall come. That belief in yourself is the initial step in anything that you're going to do. It actually eliminates fear because belief and fear cannot coexist. You either believe or you fear, but you cannot have both.
So then if I'm fearing, that means I'm not believing. Y'all, she dropping the gems already, y'all. She dropping the gems. She's not even 30 seconds in and she's already shifting my energy. So if I'm fearing, it's like if I'm in the state of wanting, then I'm not having. If I'm in the state of fearing, then I'm not believing.
Exactly.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Praise Goddess.
Yeah.
The second thing is reality. Tell me about that.
Well, as we spoke before, one of the biggest realities I think that people try to ignore or negate is the reality that I'm a Black female in America. And then sometimes it's I'm a Black female in the world, that I, was a single mother. that, all these things that I live every day is my reality. I cannot negate that. I cannot ignore that. I cannot say, oh, that has nothing to do with this. That always has something to do with everything. Because no matter what I do in this world, I'm doing it as an African American female. So I can't take that away. That is my reality. My reality is I wasn't born with a trust fund. My reality is I can't just go home and say, if it don't work, I'm gonna go home to my parents' house. My parents don't have a house. You know what I mean? That is my reality, but it's not everybody else's reality. I am not technologically advanced. So yeah, my videos don't got that great editing, but the reality is it doesn't need it. Everything that it needs to have, God has given me, and I'm going to work with what I have because I'm being realistic about my abilities.
And not to interrupt you, how do you feel that? What is the reality around being a Black woman in the world?
You know what, we have a lot of barriers that we still have to break down and overcome. Even with all my international travel, it's like when they see a Black woman, the first thing internationally I'm speaking they think of is Serena Williams and Michelle Obama, because they don't have internationally the face of the Black woman hasn't been giving any substance, for lack of a better word. That that's what they think of. They think of Serena Williams and Michelle Obama. Everywhere I go, that's what I get. But even here in the States, they think we're all angry. They think we're stupid. They want to know how we got to where we got and all this. And I have to tell them all the time, I have a master's degree. I graduated summa cum laude. So what you're not going to do is sit here and talk crazy to me. That's what you're not going to do. I'm at the seat because I deserve to be here, not because somebody put me here for affirmative actions because they felt bad or anything. And that has to be constantly reminded, because often our counterparts are put in the position that they're in because their granddaddy knew somebody, or they slept with somebody, or their neighbor,
when you were,
one or the other.
Right. When you're saying that the reality is, well, I want to go back to you getting your master's. What did you get your master's in?
Nursing leadership.
Nursing leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Is that something specific? Is that different than like a registered nurse?
Well, the thing is, no, I am a registered nurse, but my master's in nursing leadership because there's none. It's very little of our faces at the top. When you see chief nurse, CEOs, and high positions, you don't see our faces. When you see the decision making, you don't see our faces. So until we are fully represented at the top, we cannot have change at the bottom. And that's why, I continue to pursue my education. I continue to try to knock doors down. When I went to nursing school initially, I was the only Black person in my class. 44 students, and I'm the only Black person. It's hospitals right now. I walk into work and I am the only Black person there.
Wow. So, and this is still in the States. This is in the States.
This is in the States right now, on today. I mean, I go to work and they be like, oh, they finally got some sisters in here. And I'm like, I'm sorry. We are very much underrepresented, and people don't even realize it. And one of the major reasons why is because it's very hard to get in nursing school, and it's very expensive, and it's very time consuming. And a lot of us
my mom is a registered nurse, and the paperwork, and she was in leadership, and it was so hard. She was like, I don't want to be
very
leadership.
Hard. You don't have no support at the top.
Yep. And the hours. Brutal.
Yeah.
But I want to move to the A, because I know we're jumping around, but we're going to tie it in. I want to move to the A. So we have belief, we have reality, we have adventure. Because ultimately, guys, I want you guys to know she has a YouTube channel, Brase Nomad. Okay, she's a traveling nurse with a fiance, as you now know, a master's in nursing leadership. We have a rock star here, Brown and Beachy. Welcome, Tiffany. Hang with Natalie. What up? Lots of Black nurses, but the particular establishment needs to hire them. Yes, work with you have everything is perfect and complete. Yeah. So A, let's talk a little bit about, you say A is adventure.
Yes. So the adventure side is, so I started out in a schoolie, which is a converted school bus, which I converted myself. I had no tools, no prior knowledge of, I couldn't even bang a nail, but I did it with the help of my
So you had a
85-year-old
school
neighbor
bus.
sitting there
Meanwhile,
going to
you had a
direct me.
house too. So you had a house, and then you got a
Yes,
school bus that you made into what you were going to be as your van life.
a camper. So when I did travel, because I lived in Delaware. Uh, when I moved from Philly, I moved to Delaware. So, but I was working on the West Coast. I was working in Arizona, Colorado, and California. So every time I would leave, I would have to repack. I hated staying in the hotels. Anybody who travel a lot know, like staying in hotels constantly get taxing. Like you want to have your own belongings. You don't want to have to live out of a suitcase. You want to be able to cook. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna build a schooling. So I did that. So when I left for 9 months out of the time going to the West Coast, I would be able to maximize the things I brought with me, and all my stuff would be set up. All I do is show up, take the keys out the ignition. My whole house is in the school bus. I love my school bus. It just wasn't realistic for the lifestyle that I live. School buses are really good for people who want to stay in the mountains, who want to stay off grid, who want to boondock and do stuff like that. I am still very young and agile, and I like being in the city, going to comedy shows, um, going to different festivals and stuff like that. And the school bus just wasn't realistic. I did have a shorty, so it was only 5 windows, but it still wasn't realistic to just be amongst the people in major cities. So that's when I downsized to my car. Ha, ha, ha.
So you went
Was
from a
like living
school
in
bus to a car,
to a car, a Chevy Spark, the smallest car they make. And I did
and
it
you van lifed in your car. You car
in my,
lifed.
yes, I did car life for a whole month in Colorado. My son came and picked up all my personal belongings, drove them back to Florida for me. And I said, okay, I'm gonna stay in my car because my contract wasn't over for a month. But I'm gonna stay in my car for a month and see if I can do it. And then when I go home, I'll have a better understanding what my next rig was gonna be.
So
Because
you left. So you left your son. So you have a son. How many children do you have?
I had two children, a 25-year-old daughter and a 24-year-old son.
Wait, did she just say? Wait a minute, y'all. She said 24 and
And 25.
25. So much you had that when you were
Yeah.
like 9 years old, 10 years old. Is it possible? Like what? 24 and 25. I mean, you look like you're 30. How do you have a 20? Y'all, she got a 20.
So listen,
Ow.
we're gonna listen. When we get to the service and education part, I'm gonna dive into that and then y'all fully understand my motivation. Y'all will fully understand my
Ooh, I can't
motivation.
wait, y'all. I can't wait.
So
I can't. This is gonna be juicy.
so dealing with the adventure part, so then, because if anybody follows van life and all that, they know everybody has a different type of rig. So I really wanted to know what was going to fit me, what was going to be modern for me. I'm a young woman, I'm a young POC out here. So I wanted all the modern conveniences. I wanted Bluetooth. I wanted internet in my vehicle. Like I wanted electric windows. Like the school bus didn't need electric windows. It was horrible. So I came back to the dealer and I'm like, I'm going to get a van. Chevy didn't have any vans. And he was like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to turn it into a living quarter. So he introduced me to the Traverse, the Chevy Traverse, and I bought it. And I've been staying in the Chevy Traverse since Ida. So that's like October. I've been staying in my SUV and I love it. It allows me to, I love hiking, it allows me to hike, go to the beach often, uh, just be out and explore, meet new people. As I met, what a DDG. I met so many people on this journey, and then I love international travel. I have been all over the world, but my favorite top two places I'll say is the Maldives, just gorgeous,
Where is
and
it?
probably
Where is it? Say it
Bali.
again.
The
Bali.
Maldives,
What was the other one? Oh, the
the
Maldives. Yeah,
Maldives,
with the
yeah,
beautiful, yeah, with
yeah.
the rooms on the water. Yeah.
And at low tide, you can actually walk from island to island when the tide is low. But then when the tide comes up, you're going to need a boat or be stuck. But
You
it
could
was
walk
gorgeous.
island to island.
Yeah, at low tide.
And
It's
Bali.
gorgeous, just gorgeous. Yeah, I love Bali too. But I've been so many places. I'm like working on my third passport because they don't sell
Third
passport papers
passport.
anymore.
Wow. So you van
Yeah.
life. You're a nurse leader, leadership
Mhm.
nurse. You have a home. Okay, keep going, keep going. So adventure. So now you're in your SUV, you're enjoying your SUV. Anything else you want to tell me about adventure before we move into service?
And so, yeah, no, I think the best thing I can tell people about adventure is make your lifestyle suit what you want to do. Like, don't feel like because you made a decision 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that you have to stick with that decision. Because I made a decision to get a school bus, and then I realized that it wasn't working for the life that I wanted to live, and I switched up. So don't hold the keys to your own prison, is what I can say about adventure. Like, I had never hiked until I hiked. I had never zip lined until I zip lined. I had never went um, diving until I went. And it's just like one of those things. Don't hold the prison. Don't hold the keys to your own prison. If you want to do some stuff, get out and do it. People are like, I don't have the proper supplies. You don't have it because you haven't purchased it yet. But go out, adventure, see the states. They're gorgeous. And if you can go international, please go because you'll save a lot of money. You'll save a lot.
Oh, I love that. Don't hold the keys to your own prison. And that is what fear does in a way, and
Yes,
anxiety does in a way. It locks ourselves in our own prisons, right?
exactly. Yes,
I
yes,
love
yes,
that. I
yes.
love that. Another gem. So the first one is if you're fearing, you're not believing, right? If you're
Mhm.
fearing, if you're not believing. The second gem that you just dropped is don't hold the keys to your own prison. I love this. This is brilliant, brilliant. Let's move into the service. Tell me about S.
So service is like huge to me. Like I feed the homeless, I give away things. Anytime, like right now, I'm purging all my shoes and clothes. I'm going to take that to a homeless shelter. I'm not going to take it to the Goodwill because then the Goodwill is going to sell it to people who obviously can't afford it. And the reason why they willing to wear somebody else's drawers. So and so and the service is such a big deal to me. Like it hits my soul, makes me want to cry. Um,
Mm,
I had my children young. I had them at 12 and 13
12
and
and
13.
13. Let's take a breath.
Hmm.
Okay, talk to me about that. 12 and 13. Talk to me about that. If
12 and
if you
13.
feel comfortable.
Well, the thing is, I had I had people. I'm gonna give you my perception because then there's always different perceptions to the story. But now, 25 years later, this is my perception. Certain people, often parents can only parent their children the way they were parented, and they can only do best by what they see and think is best. I believe that my parents did not see the best in me. They did not see the best in me. They seen in me what they seen in everybody else, which is low income housing, Section 8, welfare. That's what they seen in me. So they didn't think it mattered if I started now or if I started later. So even though I did not become impregnated by my own will, it was something forced upon me, it was easier for them to say, by God, deal with it, than to see me and see that this child has a bright future. There's more in store for this child, and maybe we are making a decision for her that she won't be able to live with. They didn't see that, so that's why I always say they didn't see the best in me. They did what they thought was right with the limited tools that they had, and that was my first child. My second child, I was literally looking for an escape, and because so many men are predators, they have predator tendencies. They have grooming tendencies. And one of the reasons why my specialty is mental health is because I see this every day, women getting taken advantage of by predators like R. Kelly. I said it. They groom them, they take advantage of them, they see where the need is, and they exploit that need. Somebody seen that I had a need, a place to exploit because I had problems at home, and hence came my son. And my children are grown. They do follow me on all the social stuff. I'm not going to get too in depth because this is their business too. But what I can say, and I will say, and I say to them all the time, their fathers were predators. I was a baby. I was a child. Their fathers were predators, and it makes it stimulates my need for service because all the education that I got related to sexual health and all this stuff came from a free nonprofit clinic. Get me into a stable home it came from a young lady named Val who volunteered to help me. You know, like all the services, like I wouldn't be where I am right now without the kindness and service of others. I just would not. Like I cannot take it on as my own because it was a social worker that I had when I was 16. She said, you know, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be self-sufficient. I think I can do it. She said, are you sure? I said, yes, I think I can do it. I can be self-sufficient. And she put me in a mommy baby program. And I got my own apartment at 16. They paid all
Your
the
own
bills.
apartment at 16?
At 16. They paid all the bills. I had my own apartment, me and my baby. It was like a house mother. It was like a dormitory style, but it was full apartments. We had a house mother in the building. It was me and 4 other moms in the building. And to this day, me and these moms are still very close friends. And it was a program to help get us through high school, get us employment, and introduce us to living on our own and taking care of our children. And from there, I left there when I was 18 with my own place, a car, and everything, and never looked back. But it was those steps from people and that got me to where I am. Because if it was left up to my blood relatives, I'd be somewhere on Section 8 collecting a check. I'd be somewhere scraping the bottom. And I knew I wanted more for myself. I knew that I could do better. I knew I had the abilities. I just didn't have anyone to believe in me the way I believed in myself. And that's why, you know, I talk to young girls. I give as much as I can give. You know, I do all this because I know it's hard. When I was first in nursing school working on my bachelor's, they would say, go home and get help. Go home and get help from home.
And you were doing this with two kids. How old were your children?
Yes.
Your daughter and your son were doing this when you were going through school? How old were they? I mean, college.
So I'm going to give you a timeline. So when I was 17, the mother baby program that I was in, they offered job training. So they asked me what did I want to do. And I said, I want to be a nurse. So they put me in a nursing assistant program, right? And I became a CNA, a nurse assistant. And I did that for 10 years. I raised my kids being a nursing assistant for 10 years, making like $12, $15 an hour. But that $12 and $15 an hour was enough for me to raise my 2 kids. And then when I was like 27, I said I was going to go to school for nursing. And I wanted to go straight to my RN, but it was very difficult to get into the school. So I went for my LPN. And this LPN program was the hardest program I had ever been in. It was a Black teacher, Miss LaTanya Taylor. I never forget her. It was her first time teaching. And it was our first time learning. And we were the only colors. So
really?
Yeah, so I went through that program, passed it with flying colors. All throughout school, I'm tutoring all my classmates. Like, come on, y'all, we can do this. We're going to do this together. I tutored everybody every day. Whoever would come to my tutoring sessions, I would be there. The librarian, I would be at the library before she got there. Why? Because I didn't have a computer at home. I'm just going to be 100%. So I had to do all my work at the school's library. And I would be there before the librarian got there, opened it, and I would shut the library every day, trying to become a licensed practical nurse. I did that, finished that program in 2 years. And 9 months after that, I went to school to get my associate's degree in nursing. And that school was where I was the only Black person, where they would get up there and talk foolishness. And when I say foolishness, talking about Black women have sex when they're in labor because it decreased the pain.
Huh? Who are these? Okay. I have a question. Yeah, that's madness. I have a question for you. I have a question for you, because having a baby at 12 and 13 and moving out at 16, having your own place at 18, did you ever feel any kind of fear? I know you were young, but did you ever feel any anxiety, or you just in the depths of your core just knew you could do it? And give me some of that, please.
To be honest with you, only somebody at the lowest and worst predicament in their life can understand. When you are at the bottom, where you feel like you are at the worst, and it can't get no worse, to the point to where you are willing to give your kids away for them to have a better way because you know this is not the way, you will take that midnight ride to Georgia. And that's why I didn't have fear, because I knew the situation that me and my babies in could not get any worse. So no matter what step I took, it would be a step to betterment, because I already knew it couldn't get no worse. It couldn't. So when people were trying to help me, offer me services and stuff, I took it with open arms, because I'm like, my family don't see that this is not right for me. Like this situation that I am is not going to define me. It's not going to define me. I was determined that it wasn't going to define me. So I was actually seeking out organizations and people to help me. I was literally seeking it out because I wanted more for me and my children.
And I guess
so
that's where the
fear? No.
Right. Right. I guess that's also where the E falls into place in regards to education, right? So the more you educate yourself, the more you're able to make those steps without the fear. I think, right. That was the second thing I was saying. Do all the research you can do, educate, and then step out in gratitude. Tell me more.
And that's the thing. My daddy used to tell me that if you want to hide something from somebody, write it down. So all you do is write it down, because people don't read. People don't seek education. They just write it down, and it would totally be secure. I read everything. Anything, sometimes somebody give me something, a contract, a Wheaties box, a sign posted, I read everything, because I know knowledge is power. It is literally power. It's power in knowledge, and everything I know, like I am 100% debt free right now. I have no student loan debt. I don't know.
So hold on a second. You have no student loan debt, and you got your master's. You're debt free.
Debt free. Yes.
Okay. How did you do debt free? If you don't mind me asking.
No, I don't mind at all. It's a mind over matter thing, and I tell people all the time, the amount of money I come across and make, you would think I live lavishly in it. I've never had a cell phone plan. All my cell phones has always been prepaid. Why? Because I didn't see the value in it. There's no value in it. Like, I'm not going to sign into a contract for something to me that has no value, and the cell phone has no value. So if the times get hard, I can just not pay my cell phone bill and it won't affect my credit. And I learned about credit, and I know what credit meant. And I understood how us as a people can never have good credit or never make it, because we're always being dug down into a ditch. And now we're always trying to dig out of this ditch. So what I did was, as I was making my way up the nursing ladder from CNA, LPN, RN, BSN, MSN, I continued to live as if I just was a CNA. I never upgraded my lifestyle. My kids hated it. Like, I know we got money. Why you got to be so stingy? Why you got to be so cheap? Because I knew I wanted, and you have to take, me and my daughter ages are so close. Me and her was in school at the same time. And she went to a private university in Washington, D.C. I went to a state university, but her one semester was my whole year. Like, it was so expensive, but I knew I wanted to be able to pay for my daughter to go to college, my son to go to college, and myself to go to college. And I could not be drowning in debt to do it. So I kept our living expenses real low. One time we lived over top of a garage. My son laughs about that all the time.
You guys were living out of a garage?
They had the garage had an apartment on top of it, like a garage that fixed cars, and they had an apartment on top, and we lived in the apartment on top of the garage. He was like, "You remember that?" Yeah. And I said, I moved to this town because my son had to play football for this coach. This high school coach was an ex-NFL player, and my son said he had to play for this man. So I upped and packed my kids up. We went to Maryland so my son could live in this town and play football under this guy. And that was the only thing I could afford, was this 2-bedroom apartment over top of this door and garage. It was an industrial area and everything. But I needed my kids to see that all things are possible. So most people think, oh, it's a bad school district. I can't afford to live in a good school district. No, you can't afford to maybe live in that mansion or a good house in a good school district, but you can find something. And I was determined to find something because my son said he had to play under this coach. And we literally rented an apartment on top of a garage. And this is like
I'm cutting you off. I'm sorry. I'm going to add to this. Mind over matter.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Fearing is not believing, right?
Mm-mm.
I love that.
Mm.
Mind over matter. So
Yeah.
good. And you know, I love that. Not spending, even if you have the money, because
Mm-mm.
understanding that you may need that money in the future for something else, like school.
Yes. And I was able
Or
to send
travel,
my
or
daughter to
travel, or
school.
travel, or a van.
Exactly. And it's crazy because people think it's like, oh, you just waste your money. All you do is travel. I say I can't live in a world that I don't know, and what you don't
Oh,
know, you
stop
don't
right there. Stop right there.
understand.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Stop right there. Y'all, she's dropping gems, yo. I cannot live in a world that I don't know.
You don't know it.
I
Like
love
you
that.
don't.
That's really,
And
really.
then they expect us to be culturally competent when you really don't know the culture. Somebody told you this is what their culture was, and you just believed it. That's not true. I travel and I stay amongst the people, and I can see the difference in the food. That's why I'm terrified of the food in the States. A chicken wing is as big as my forearm here in the States. When you go to other countries and stuff where that meat is farm raised, chicken wings are just as small and delicious. I said they tearing the food up here in America. I said, y'all be so confused in so many ways. When I went to Egypt just to see people living on one bottle of propane for a whole month. They was like, what you need propane for? Like we got other ways to make fire, heat, food, you know what I mean? And I was just like, if we could just incorporate that in our regular lives. And that's why van life is so good for me because it lowers my carbon footprint. It allows me to do things like if I want to go get fresh eggs, I can go get fresh eggs. If I want to pick your own, I can pick your own. Just to exercise, I can exercise in front of any ambiance that I like. And it's just so amazing. It's just so amazing. And it's also part of the education is I'm a CPR provider. I provide CPR under the American Heart Association, and I teach people for free. I go to churches, daycares, community centers, anything, and I teach CPR for free. And I tell people everybody should know how to save their lives or their loved ones' lives. Everybody should know. It should be free. So I do it for free.
Wow. I love
And
this. I
if
love
you
this.
want to be certified, you have to pay for the card because I have to pay for the card. So, but to learn CPR, I do it for free. First time mommies, you need to have this because accidents do happen. So my whole Brace moniker, it's personal to me. It's a very personal because it's who I am. This is not for clicks and likes. It's not, for notoriety or anything like that. It's because this is who I am.
Yeah, I
This
love
is
that
who
because
I
your
am.
last video you talked about in your last video sorry to interrupt you, you talked about authenticity. I loved that
Mm-hmm.
and what it really meant to be authentic. But let's shift gears a little bit here because it's the end of the year. We're looking at what happened in 2021 as we move into 2022. Let's talk a little bit about that. Fiance?
So
Walk
let
me
me tell
through
you,
that. How are you van lifing with the fiance? Where's the fiance? How did you meet the fiance? How long have y'all been engaged? When is the wedding? Is the wedding going to be in van life?
so this is what I want to tell y'all. Ray just announced it to the world because half my family don't even know.
Oh my God!
So
I'm so sorry. I
yeah.
didn't know. But I didn't know that was a secret. And I'm a
It's
secret
not a
holder,
secret.
honey. Yo, I'm from Brooklyn.
You know
I'm a
what?
secret holder, but you got to tell me it's a secret. Otherwise, I'm just going to tell the world.
It's not that it's a secret. It's just that I feel like people who know me personally know what's going on in my life. And if you don't call me and we don't have personal conversations, then you don't know. But I'm not breaking my neck to spread the news. I am going to do like a photo shoot for the engagement. But let me tell you how this took place. How I knew this guy was the one. I always get people like, let's go out on my school bus. Let's go take a school bus adventure, right? And everybody always like, no, that's crazy. I don't know why you doing that. He's the first guy I was like, come on, let's go. I'll go stay in the school bus with you. We can go camping.
Oh, wait,
And
how
we
did you
actually,
meet him, though? How did you meet him, though?
so I had purchased, now, nobody's going to believe this story because nobody believes it. I was looking to buy land in Florida because I was going to make Florida my forever state. So I started in Jacksonville. I couldn't find anything I liked. I made my way down to Tallahassee. I had never been in Tallahassee a day in my life. Never. So I bought property in Tallahassee. I had never even visualized the property. I just bought it from over the phone. I was in Colorado. I had a realtor. here.
You bought
Right over the
land
phone.
over the phone at a grocery Roga
Mhm.
store? Are you kidding me right now?
No, that's what I did. That's what I did. And I signed the papers at Starbucks. So it was a waterfront property. It was everything I wanted it to be. I bought it. So then, as I'm a travel nurse, I said, okay, now I got to get to Florida to start getting my property together. So I took an assignment in Florida, came down here, met this guy. I think I was here for like a week when I met him, and he asked me out. And I was like,
So you didn't meet him
I
on an
don't
app,
know.
you just met him out.
Well, the app, let me say, okay, so he said he was only on the app one day. Like that very day, a friend told him to get on the app, and he got on the app. And my picture and profile was the closest one to him, right? And I didn't know who he was. He sent, let me tell you the message he sent. Hello, my name is, this is my number, call me please. I thought he was a long lost relative or something. I thought he was somebody I had known.
A long lost relative.
I did, because don't nobody just do that. Like to send you a message and say, this is my name, this is my number, please call me. So I call him on my phone because this is, I'm naive, I'm trusting. I'm going to make up the scenario in my head, right? And so I'm thinking he a long lost relative or something. So I hit him up, hey, what's up? This is Tina. You told me to call you. And that's when he breaks down that he got my socials and everything off of the site. And that's how he was able to send me a message. He thought I was beautiful and wanted us to go on a date. Just like that.
Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't.
And you guys were in the same. You guys were in the same city.
Yeah, we're in the same city.
And you weren't afraid. See, there goes that word again.
No. You know what made me unafraid? How assured he was. Like when I was talking to him, he said everything with assurance. And he told me from that first date that God sent me to him. And I was like, how you know God sent you? He said, because I got on this site one time. You were the only person I looked at. I sent you a message and you called me back. He said, and I had been praying for God to send me somebody, and clearly it had to be you. And I was like, this man is thrown off with this Hawaiian shirt on. So we started going on dates and stuff, and he was really convicted that God put us together. And the longer we were together, the more I became assured that this was my person. And but when he went on an adventure with me on my school bus, I was like, this is my person. We had to drive from Tallahassee, Florida to Yuma, Arizona, and I only had 48 hours to get there. And he drove me all the way there. Like,
so wait, but what about
say,
his life though? What about his life? How he just dropped his life like that? Like how he just,
you know what? And it may seem like, but this is the crazy thing. He don't even be home like that because he works. He travels for work, which was right up my alley. He travels for work, so he's not even home Monday through Thursday. Monday through Thursday, he's out in the field, and then he's home Thursday night till Monday morning. And his schedule and everything just worked well with my schedule. And when we had to go to Arizona, it was Christmas Day. I flew from Philly to Tallahassee on Christmas Day because my bus and car was in Tallahassee and we drove. So he was off that whole 2 weeks. So it just worked out for his schedule. But even with buying the house, I've been traveling. After I did that contract, hold on. Let me go back. Because this is the part where I knew. Let me go back.
Your story. Because you know what, because you hear a lot on YouTube about the manosphere and we black women, we can't find no man. And it's not true. It's not real.
You know why it's not real? Every man I've ever dated has been a clone of the other man because I don't date men with kids. And I prefer you not to have no family. And they was like, how do you constantly find men without kids? I said, because I wouldn't even gravitate or talk to them when I did have kids because that ain't my thing. That's not my thing. I feel like, that's just not for me. So let me tell you. So I told you I bought the land in Tallahassee, right? Came here, I'm going to start my building process. The house that I wanted to be built on the property, I couldn't get the licensing for it. The county was like, the house is too big for this property because it was a waterfront property and you had to be so many feet away from the water or whatever. So they wanted me to build vertically. built up instead of wide. And I'm like, I'm gonna be old in this house. I'm not gonna be trying to go up 3 flights of steps and all this. So he said, well, this is what he said. My fiance said, last month I went and looked at a property that I was thinking about buying. I think you would like it. It's right up the street. It's a mile up the street. I think you might like it. Maybe you should go look at it. So I came, we drove up the street, we went and looked at it, and I said, I love the location. It's less than a mile from our other property. It's twice as big as the other property. Let's buy it. It happened to still
So
be on the
he
market.
came with the idea. He came with the plan. He came with the vision. Praise God.
And this is the land and the house that we're sitting on now. So my house, because of the pandemic, it took over a year to get done. So I had to, I continued to travel nurse, and he stayed on the ground, like taking video pictures, updating me, talking to the people. And he did all that from the home base here, and still once a month flying out to wherever I was. Wherever I was, he would still fly out. And I always knew that if a man was going to be for me, he was going to enable me to live the life that I wanted to live and not hinder me. And
especially because you come from a background of, like you say, predators, which is exactly what it is. How were you able, because not to get into my drama, but I come from similar experiences, right? And a lot of women do. And I feel like we're in negotiation with ourselves on how do we choose the proper mate. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like when you go through such experiences, they socialize you in a certain way.
No, that is so true. My son, who is very in tune to his mother, used to tell the guys, I've been engaged like 5 times. He told the guys, she ain't staying with you. This ain't gonna work out. And
you said you engaged like, 5 times?
Yeah. And my son
I love you, Brase. Like, oh my God, 5 times.
She's like, yeah, she's like, my son always like, you ain't it. So, but the thing is this, there was a point in time that I love people because they love me, because I had never received real love before. So I could only love somebody who I felt loved me first, which to me, it wasn't me picking, it was them picking me. And I got to a point in life where I was like, I am going to be the chooser. I am going to allow myself to choose a mate and love that mate, despite of whether they love me or not, because I'm not taking ownership of my feelings and I'm not taking ownership of my body. So last August 2020, I got baptized at our family reunion. I got baptized and I took a vow of celibacy, right? That was in August. I met this man in November. And he's
a few months later.
Yes, and he's also celibate. Look at God. Look at God.
So let's shift gears for a second. Megan Good, Devon Franklin. Do you know who these people are?
Yeah, I know Megan Good and Devon Franklin, and Russell and Sierra both were celibate.
But now Megan Good and Devon Franklin are broken up. What do you think about that?
I'm not. You know what? I think sometimes people use breakup as an option when it shouldn't be one.
Tell me more.
I think they use it when it shouldn't be one, because we get angry and upset with our parents. We don't break up with them. With our children, we don't break up with them. At work, we don't break up with them. But when it comes to their relationship, that's always the number one option, is that we can just break up, we can just leave. And that's one of the things with my current relationship is we're starting off at a good place and we're going to stay in a good place, because people think you got to go through something. You got to have hard times. That is make believe. You do not have to have hard times. You do not have to go through something. You have to be adults and take on this world, but not when you're creating. You can't just want to create obstacles for your partner and then say, this is a hard time we got to go through. This is not a hard time that we have to go through. This is a learning moment for you, because you should have never brought this to the plate. And it's not like I'm going to say you messed up or this wasn't right and then I'm leaving, because that you should never have that option. I feel like in a relationship, if you are with this person and you tie yourself down to them, then it should be that. And that could be from my background growing up with not believing in divorce. But some people should just never have been together. I thought they were cute together. I thought they were well. I don't know what the ins and outs of their relationship is, but I know for me, I put everything on the plate in the forefront. So if you want to run now. Don't run later. And I think the same thing should be, said about every part of anybody's relationship. If you have solid no's, that person should know that. And that solid no is somewhere where you would stop and reconsider. But then just, I don't know, especially with kids is involved and stuff. I just hope whatever reason that they're splitting, that, it's unreconcilable. People use that word real loosely.
I think what you're saying is so true. I think people need to meet people where they are, and people need to match and be on the same page of where they are. So, for example, someone like me who's going to bop around the world, if I'm going to be with a dude, he has to understand that I'm going to be bopping around the world, or he has to give me something to make me stop bopping around the world. He has to offer something, some vision, something who really allows me to be me. And I say to people all the time, I will stop bopping around the world. I will stop promoting my music, promoting my art, if the dude comes along who offers me something to give it all up. But I'm willing to. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to adopt children or be a mom or, stop everything and be with a dude. But he has to offer me something.
But Ray, this is my motto, and I tell everybody I meet this: you can have it all. You can have it all. You don't have to sacrifice.
You believe that? You really believe we can have it all?
I believe you can have it all. You do not have to sacrifice. There's nothing saying you can't be a mother and an artist. There's nothing saying you can't be a wife and a travel singer. There's nothing saying you can't be in a relationship and bop across the world. As African American women, we are always the first one to be willing to give up on something. Why I got to give up on something? I can have 19 pair of socks, 19 careers, and do all this and still be a mother and still be a wife to the right man. We can have it all. We can. And right now, you, myself, and a lot of other women are proving that you can have it all. The best thing for a child is to be well diverse. So, the military kids, they don't get no chance. Wherever daddy going, that's where we going. We bopping around. So
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, as women, we're the first one to be giving up stuff. I ain't giving up nothing. I'm not giving up anything. Why? Because I can have it all. I can have a relationship. I can have my nomadic lifestyle. I can have any other career or thing that I want. I can have. I just have to be able to manage it all. The thing when you have to start scaling back, when it becomes too much for you to handle, but not because you want to add things. Child, keep adding. Keep on adding things.
Right. It's funny you say that, because Tiffany says here, back to the whole Megan thing, was not his type. She changed who she was to be with a good man, in my opinion, she says. See, she seems to have lost who she was to be with him, in my opinion. That goes to what you're saying. You can find a man where you don't have to lose yourself, where you don't have to change yourself, where you don't have to give up everything. You can simply, just know that it's coming. Miss Foxy Brown. Foxy! Yo, Foxy, we gotta shout out Miss Foxy. Yo, Brase. Foxy was my first Cash App. I didn't even have Cash App. And Foxy sent me a comment. She was like, Ray, I want to support you. Let me Cash App you. I was like, okay. So I went and I signed up for Cash App. And I just scrolled it across the screen for like 30 seconds. And she gave me my first Cash App. So Miss Foxy Brown, I love you. Thank you so very much for your Cash App. She says, I agree. An artist is who you are. Don't sacrifice, Ray. The right man will support you in all your dreams. The world needs your gifts. Oh my God, I love her.
Yes,
Thank
he
you, Miss
will.
Foxy.
Yes, he will. And listen, and for years, for generations, women have been the ones to sacrifice. I think that whole monarcher and the part of thinking needs to go. I always said I was going to meet my forever man at the airport, because I'm always at the airport. So I was like, that's where I'm going to meet him, right at the airport, because I'm always at the airport. But instead, I met a man who had only flown one time. And now since we've been together, he called himself internationally known.
I like
you
this.
know, and him not having a passport, that did not deter me, because I said these are all things that he is willing to do, can be done. It's not an obstacle. It's not an obstacle, and me personally, I don't know if it's from past traumas or whatever. I don't need 24-hour reminders of affection or 24 hours of somebody uplifting me. I love myself. I could be by myself. Like, I don't need to be around my man 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Right.
That's a little much.
Wow. Okay, so he works also Mondays through Thursdays. You travel nurse, and then we'll get back to the fiance, because I want to step into a little bit about travel nursing, because a lot of people are like, well, if I'm going to van life, how am I going to make money? And Danette last year, what did do DG? What I loved about her was she talks about she door dashes in van life. That's brilliant. So how do you travel nurse? Is it because you're a nurse leader, it allots you the opportunity to do it, or could anyone be a nurse and be a travel nurse?
So they have travel everything. Anything in the health field, you can travel. You can travel nursing assistant, LPN, RN, you can travel. So
wow.
I have a short attention span. I can't be nowhere for too long because the people start getting on my nerves. So I got to be out after 3 months. 3 months be my max. But the travel nursing allowed me. Some people do it for the money. I'm gonna be real with you. Most travel nurses do it for the money. You make twice as much, sometimes 3 times as much an hour as you do from just having a local job at home. So most nurses do it for the money. Okay, we're talking about $85 an hour and up. I think the most I made was like maybe $120 an hour. So most people do it for the money. Yeah.
My mother will tell it too. She's like, my mother would be like, I do it for the money. And my mother does 3 different jobs. Like, she sees private patients, which is like a traveling nurse. She works in the hospital, and she does weekends with seniors at retirement homes, making money.
Yeah. So that's what most people say, they do it for the money. And that's the reason why they do it. Me personally, I'm getting paid to do what I would do anyway. I love to travel. So if a friend or somebody is having something in a state, I'd be like, I'm going to make my schedule so I have a job in that state. So I'm already there and they're paying for my travel. And then if I need to come back, I'll get wherever I need to go. That's where I get my contracts at. So I can be wherever I need to be and get paid. Now, my lifestyle is such that it requires me to have a certain amount of coins to survive. Just a certain amount. I love sitting in a cafe. I love, nice things per se. And I love to just be able to get up and go. Like, if you was like, come to Paris tomorrow, I would have that ticket tomorrow. Because
girl, come to Paris tomorrow. No, not joking.
That's just the lifestyle I like to live. I don't like to be in need or want, so I know I need to work. Now, the thing is, I can work 2 days a week and be fine. 2 days a week, I'll be fine. I could probably work 1 day a week and be fine. But I actually like what I do, because oftentimes when I am working somewhere, a lot of the patients look to me for advice, look to me for answering. Like, these people don't talk to us. They don't say anything to us. I don't know what's going on. And I always thoroughly educate my patients on what exactly is happening, what's going on, because they say my counterparts don't really say anything to them.
Wow.
They just a lot of people treat patients like numbers and not like people.
Right.
And that's just not who I am. That's not who I am. So I actually love my work. I love it.
That makes sense. Guys, while we're here, if you can oh my God, I sound like a YouTube content creator. Please like, get these likes up. I don't even know how many likes we have. I just know you're supposed to say that. Okay. So travel nursing, which allows you to make more money, double or triple, but it also allows you to be free to do what you need to do because you're a traveling nurse. Now, do you and your fiance have a time where you say, okay, we're not going to go more than a week without seeing each other. We're going to see each other. When do you guys come back, reconvene, get together? How does that work? Next question, when is the wedding?
So we are very fluent. Okay, we are very fluid. Like, we don't make any long-term plans. Like, all our plans are very short-term, only because he knows my personality is flighty. He knows my personality is flighty. That's how I knew he was the man for me, because he's like, you so flighty. You say you're gonna do this, then you be somewhere else. I said, I know. So we are very, his only requirement of me is that I check in at least once a day. That's his only requirement, that I check in once a day. And he has created a comfort zone for me, right, to the point where I feel bad and I have to come see him, because I'm like, I feel so bad I ain't seen this man in such and such time, because I keep going here, going there, going here.
And so then you guys must have a lot of trust. You're not worried about him. There's just a major trust and camaraderie and respect between you two. It must be.
Well, this is the thing. He said he believes that his obligation to me and his being with me is a covenant with God. So if he did wrong by me, he would be doing wrong by God. That's what he truly believes. So I have comfort. I have comfort in God. And, if God said it be so, then it be so. I'm not out here trying to babysit no grown behind man. Because what goes on, I'm sorry, I got to get my charger. What goes on in the dark will come to light. And I am blessed enough to have the security that whether or not he here or not here, it's going to be okay. It's going to be just fine. So he can
look at her walking through that house, y'all. You are walking through the house.
Yeah, I had to go to the charger. My phone is that. But yeah, I'm like, so I don't be worried about that. And I know he has a real fear of God. And that was one of the reasons I knew he was the one for me, because not only do he pray with me, he prayed for me. And he prayed for everybody I love also. And it just hit different. One time he said a prayer and he talked about my past trauma and stuff, and about my family, how they used and abused me, and it brought me to tears. When I tell you he could pray your pants off, yeah, he is a prayer, and it's something like a praying man. I never had one, but now that I got one that's really genuine, it really hits different.
I want to talk. I want to lean into that a little bit. Danette says, sacrifice needs to be unlearned for women. I really think that ties into what you're saying. Can you tell me how that resonates with you? I really think that is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant comment by Danette. Tell me.
No. It is, because I've been sacrificing my whole life. As y'all already know, I've been a mother for 25 of the 38 years of my life. That's a lot of sacrifice that has been going in there. That's and to now be in a place where not only do I refuse to sacrifice anything, I'm not being asked to. I'm not being asked to sacrifice anything. I wanted to get a $5,000 custom couch made, right? And he sat there and he was like, Tina, whatever you want to do, I'll be there for you. But I ain't never sat on a couch that expensive.
Is there something else you just did that you want to tell us that he's okay with too?
What? Oh, yeah. No, let me tell y'all. Hold on. So, Danette, shut up. So listen, I just got my breast done. That's why I'm looking all swollen, right? I got my breast done.
Y'all, she just got her breast done. Yo, I love you, Brase. Brase, tell them why you just got your breast done. Please tell them why. I love you.
So listen. So all my family members.
I got no boobies. I got no boobies.
I'm trying to do something. So all my family was calling him. And out of my mom's siblings, it's only 2 girls, me and my one other cousin, right? Why she called him and asked him, did he make me get my breast done? I said, I'm sitting over there like, oh my God, my family is a mess. She gonna say because we think her breast is fine and she ain't get no breast done until you came in the picture, right? So he was like, I love this woman from the inside out. So on the first date, she told me she was getting her breast done and she just went and did it. He said, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's between her and God. I was like, oh my God. But yes, and I am actually going to video and chronicleize this journey, because a lot of Black women think it's a white woman thing. Or, we getting these BBLs, what's that? Booty breast lift? Like,
Right. But there is a lot of controversy around any alteration to your body, because people say that you could lose your life to it. But I feel like if you have a proper doctor, again, you do the proper education, you do the proper educational research, It should be totally fine.
Listen, if you
and it's your individual choice, right? How many times I feel like it's so important as we as Black women, part of our freedom, part of our finding our truth and our voice and our happiness and our artistry, and really moving past the anxiety and the fear is just stepping into what we want to do.
And that's what I felt like. I felt like I did not like my breasts from having 2 kids. They had lost their fullness, and they, you got to be pulling your breast from underneath your underarm. Somebody should have to be pulling their breast from underneath their underarm. Your breast should be on your chest. My breast was to the left, to the right. It was everywhere but where it needed to be. Okay. I'm in these international beaches. My baby's not fitting properly. And this is the thing. Everything is an individual decision. Okay. It is and you don't have to get approval from nobody. And that's what I had to tell people. I didn't need no approval. I went and found the doctor and got it. You could die. I could die from eating this meat with all these hormones in it. That's what I can die from. These Teslas driving themselves. I can die from one of them Teslas going rogue. It's a lot of things I could die from. But at least when I get in my casket, these breasts gonna be sitting up. Boing, boing, boing. They're gonna be sitting up for high attention. And make sure y'all have me low cleavage. If I die because of these breasts, you make sure you get the low cleavage in the casket. That's what you died for. But I never not do anything out of fear of death. Death is the one thing that God promised us. It's the one thing. We will die. And then you're going to spend the money. I tell people all the time, why are you saving it? No, you're going to spend it. No matter what you spend it on, it's going to get spent. It's just going to get spent.
Right.
So I'm like, no, I got the money. I want it. And it was a self-esteem thing. Because I hate bras, first of all. And I like my girls to be free.
Yeah. That's one reason why I'm not even an A. I'm probably a double A. But the reason why I haven't got, any, let me tell you a little secret. I'm probably dating myself. But one time I was really young. It's just really bad that I was really young. And I was hired to be a body painting model at the Playboy Mansion in LA. And this is when Hugh Hefner was alive. Oh, I'm dating myself. Oh, Lord. And
I love me from you.
Okay, me too. Because one thing about who he was clear. I'm going to have 12 playmates and you all going to know who you are. And he supported all of them. All of them. He paid for their college careers. Whatever they wanted to do, he supported them. Anyway. So I was working for Hugh Hefner and I was working for Coca-Cola. And Filippo Ioka was a body painter. And I talked about him when I was in Barcelona. I'm actually going to do another project with him in January. And I went there and Hugh Hefner, and I had to be naked with pasties and like a bikini. And my friend body painted me at the entrance of the Playboy Mansion as a Coca-Cola bottle. And Hugh Hefner came up to me at the end of the show and he was like, I want you to be a playmate of, you don't have to live here, but I would love to feature you on the cover of Playboy because I've never had a small chested playmate, natural with perky breasts on the cover. I was so flattered. I didn't do it. But,
why?
Because, girl, my brain, I was young. I'm not who I am today. Today, I would do it. But then I was like, no nudity. I'm not going to do it. I already told everybody where I'm going, so I'm not going to say it again because I messed up. However, where I'm going, the women walk around in bikinis. And I'm going to be in a bikini. And I'm going to be shaking. Because now I'm older. Now I get it. But when I don't want to say the age because I was really too young to be doing that job. I didn't get it. I was like, oh God. And I grew up in a cult. I grew up in a very religious background. I had sexual self-esteem issues. I probably still do have them to this day. So I had to really work through, and that's what traveling helps me do, right? It helps me learn how to be free, how to get rid of my judgments, how to get rid of my fears, my anxieties. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm really trying to work on. But anyway, sorry to talk about that and to totally interrupt your conversation on that. But yes, your breasts. You now have these breasts.
Dialogue. And like I told you, me and him are celibate. So he won't see these breasts until October the 22nd in Cabo, Mexico when we get married.
So wait a minute, you guys still haven't consummated your relationship? Y'all are still
No.
celibate? So you guys will be a whole year. So you won't have your wedding until next
We're already
October.
over a year. We're already a year. November 2021 made 1 year. Remember, I told you I met him in 2020.
That's right. That's why. Oh, that's right. You met him 2020 in October. No, November.
In November.
Right, November. Now it's a year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And he's okay with it.
Mm-hmm. He was celibate when I met him, but his celibacy is for God and for God reasons. And even when we both came together, and I told him I was celibate, and I just got baptized. I'm living my new life now, and I wasn't going to do it. We even set boundaries. Like there would be no kissing, there would be no touching, there would be no fellatio on either side. Because some people think you could be celibate, you still celibate, and giving fellatio.
Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, they must be doing something.
No. We don't sleep in the same bed. We don't do any of that. And right now, we living in the same house, and we don't do anything.
Wow.
And
so
the wedding is October.
So he's not gonna touch. He's not gonna touch the new until next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, next October.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the Turner Project. They're like, go Ray, over 300 subs. Woo, 300 subs. Woo, over 300 subs. Now let me stop.
Yeah.
Grace, you know, these YouTube streets are no joke, honey. I celebrate I was talking to my girlfriend Natalie and my girlfriend Hillia yesterday. They're in the chat and they were like, Ray, we started at 0, yo. 300 subs? That's a lot of subs. I know y'all like 300,000 is a lot. 300,000 is a lot, but 300 is a lot too. When you start from 0,
made it to 100. I just made it to 100 this week.
Congratulations, girlfriend. I think I saw you like 108.
Yeah, I do. I'm moving on up.
And after this, you're gonna have more. Make sure you guys go to her page and y'all subscribe. She's a travel nurse, newly fiance, new breasts, celibate, rock star, van life, 2 children,
everything.
24.
Listen, and we're about to start raising these chickens. Now, you know, I told you I'm from Philly. I'm from the city. I don't know nothing
You
about
about to have a farm of chickens?
Yeah, so I'm going to chronicleize that because you know that's going to be a mess. That's going to be a mess. But, you know, baby, like whatever you want to do. I said, I'm going to try to raise because, you know, I'm trying to have this whole country vibe. So, yeah, we're about to raise.
Do you want to have any more children? Do you want to have any more children?
No. And the crazy thing is, he doesn't have kids, and the most I would be open to is possibly adopting. But that adoption, they have to at least be 5. At least.
So you're willing to adopt, but you don't want to have no more babies come out your body.
No, my tooth's been tied since I was 20. To be totally transparent, because you know I don't really hold like that. I had 5 abortions. 5.
You had a what? You had a what?
I had 5 abortions. 5. The abortion doctor.
5 abortions?
The abortion doctor said he wasn't going to do not a near another abortion. Not a near another one. And made me an appointment to come to his office and get my tubes tied. Mm-hmm.
So you're fertile like me.
Mm-hmm. 5. And now I'm on this live being totally transparent. 5. A doctor said, we're not doing not near another one. Come get your tubes tied. Clearly, you don't want no more kids. I said, I do not. But I was under the misconception because people be lying to people. So I hope these people was listening. People be lying to people saying you got to be 21, you got to have a certain amount of kids to get your tubes tied. That is a lie. You only have to be over 18 to get your tubes tied, and you don't have to have any kids. That is a lie that was propagated. And I'm steady trying to make it to him 21, trying to make it to him 21. And the whole time I didn't even need to be 21.
Well, wait a minute. Let's go back to the 5
abortions.
Were you young? Were you young when this happened, or was it over time?
It was somewhere between 18 and 20. But this is the thing, right? Remember I told you I was
So then you
loving
had
people.
so then you had to learn at a sorry to interrupt you. You had to learn at a certain point then. You had to learn at a certain point that there were other ways to be sexual without getting pregnant then, right? Because you were so young.
This is what exactly. That was the learning curve that I had to come over. And like I told you earlier, I was loving people because they loved me. You know what I mean? I was letting people be in my life because they wanted to be there, not because I wanted them to be there. And let me tell you something. If you want some reality to know if your relationship is solid or not, get pregnant. Get pregnant. Okay? I didn't heard people tell me all types of stories. The one guy talking about he was getting deported back to Jamaica, so he didn't want to have no kids. That Negro is still here in the Philadelphia area and had 4 more kids since I was pregnant with 2 of his kids. Just ridiculousness. The one guy used to beat the crap out of me. I mean, he threw me out of a nightclub, threw me clear across the street into a car.
Okay,
I'm not. Yeah,
I
that wasn't an option.
Because the reason why I'm doing this YouTube channel, the same way your reason why you're doing it: B, belief; R, reality; A, adventure; S, service; E, education, is so that you can reach. I mean, I'm sure it's the same as for you, for me, our young Black girls, so they can have belief, they can have reality, they can have adventure, they can have service, they can understand what education is. I know I asked you this, but I need more from you. So these young girls who are in similar situations as you, 12 and pregnant, 16 and on their own, 18 and beat up, how do you make it through?
You know what?
I know it's mind over matter. I know it's not
not.
fearing anything. I know it's, but how what? Okay, here's a better question. What would you say to those women who are in that same situation that you were in when it was very traumatic? What do you say to them when it seems bleak and they can't get out?
And this is what I'm going to say. I'm glad I don't look like what I've been through because I didn't been through a lot.
That's true.
And I'm going to tell you how I got out of the circle. Because it's not one relationship. It's not one place. It's not one thing. It's a circle. It's like you're circling around all these bad things that are hurting you. And you just cannot get out of this orbit. And you're like, how do I get out of this orbit? I cannot get out of this orbit of just drugs, violence, sex, abuse, poverty. I need to find a way to get off this roller coaster. Because all of this is going together. It's all going together. So what I did is one day I packed me and my children up and I left the state. I just literally what we could fit in suitcases, what I could fit in suitcases, I packed up and I left. And that's when I started going to school for nursing. I literally left a whole life. I got it in my mind that I have to get out of this orbit. I have to get away from this. And I packed up and I went to a whole new state because it's something about a fresh, clean start, that fresh canvas, that now you are able to make it and be whatever you want it to be. Now, if you find yourself in that same orbit in this new location, then you have to look at yourself. You're the problem. It wasn't the things that people, now it's you because you have a blank canvas that's now trash. So
see, that's brilliant.
You look into yourself.
This is what I wanted from you. Like, what are some tangible things? That's brilliant. Change your environment.
Yeah.
Whether it's the state or it's
the state, the city, whatever, change your environment. When I tell you, when I changed my environment, it was so amazing because you know what? We used to go out and party like 6-7 days a week. Me and my girls. Okay, we were reckless. So once I got away from my girls, now I got 6-7 days a week to do something productive with. Now, when I get away from my 5 boyfriends, I just dropped off the face of the earth, got a new phone. I ain't got to worry about all these sexual innuendos. Okay? And then once I relocated, the first thing I acquired was therapy.
Therapy.
I
Okay,
started was therapy.
let's take a breath here. So young girls or any person that finds themselves in a position to where they feel stuck, they can't leave, like the title of my thumbnail. Why am I so afraid to leave? Leaving meaning the country, the state, the neighborhood, the man, the friends, the job, anything that's preventing you from being your truest self, right? This is brilliant.
I went to therapy because I really had to detach my current life from my past life. I had to literally detach it because you are naturally drawn to your own. Like I was naturally drawn to my mom. Even though my mom abused me, used me, and did this, I was drawn to her. So I literally had to go to therapy for myself to learn that it was okay to choose me and my children over my. It was okay that I was not a horrible person, because to this day I get told that I'm a horrible person. I don't call my mom. I don't take care of my mom. I don't do this. They can't believe I would be like that. But these are the same people don't understand the trauma and stuff that's connected with. And me separating myself is me choosing me choosing my children, me choosing to do more with my life than to stay in that circle with them. I can't keep being in the circle with you. I used to literally, I'm going to tell you one of my sayings. My girlfriend, Demetrius, is she on here? I tell it to her all the time. To take care of me and my children, I'll do it on my back or with crack, okay? And ain't nothing I ain't willing to do to take care of mine. But the problem came when I was on my back, taking care of people who should have been taking care of me.
Wow.
Because I ain't never been a fool. So, of course, yeah, I'm out here dilly-dallying, but I was doing okay. But I didn't even have to do all that if I wasn't trying to take care of people who should have been taking care of me. Like I'm paying car notes for my family, rent, all this. Like I didn't have it. I told you I didn't even become a nurse until after I left. So I'm doing all this, and I'm just a CNA.
Wow.
Just making and that's how I supplemented my income on my back, because I wasn't giving nothing up for free. You a lie. But I realized I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to do that.
It's funny. I was saying the other day to my girlfriend, girl, I'm learning. I don't got to get on my knees.
Listen, and
you
now
learn that as you get older, you don't have to get on your knees no more.
And it's crazy because now today, they was like, you get men to take care of you who you're not even sleeping with. I said, you're right. That's because these men love me for my intellect and not my body. They call me because I'm an asset to them. And as long as I'm an asset to you in your business or whatever you're doing, you're going to take care of me. You're right. Yeah, you're right. And that's just the way it is. No sex involved. And because I had such a bad relationship with sex, I don't even need sex. People wonder how I can be celibate all the time, because I have a bad relationship with sex to the point where I know the next time I embark on that, it's going to have to mean something, because it has been meaningless my whole life.
Wow. And because you're celibate with your fiance, you're building this meaningness. You're building this trust, so that when it does happen, you guys have created a foundation of security and understanding. So of course it's going to be just fine. I see.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I want to bring this to a close. Before I bring this to a close, I have one more question, not the same question, but one more thing you can give to these young women out here, or just women of all ages that are afraid to leave, or they feel stuck, or they don't know what to do in whatever their situation is. The second one you said was therapy. The first one you said was move, change, like travel, be a nomad, get out. What would be another tangible tactic that a person could do as their third thing if they're feeling stuck, they're feeling afraid, they're feeling like they can't leave?
Let me tell you, this is real life. This is what I did. I got an online bank account. At the time, it was called ING. The bank was ING. It was an online bank account. So I couldn't access the money. And from my check, I would have $100 go in this account every week from my check, this online account. I had no ATM card. There was no location for this bank or anything. I had this money going there I couldn't touch, because I was sowing into my future, because I knew I was going to make a move. I didn't know when I was going to make the move. I didn't know how I was going to make the move, but I knew I was going to need the finances to make this move. So I'm like, if I take this amount of money, put it in the bank, when I get the hurrah to go do it, I can just go do it. And that's what I did. And I mean, when I tell you, when I left, I had $10,000 in the bank when I got up and left. I had 10 grand. 10 grand. And I thought that was the most money I would ever see. I was like, when I seen the number, I was like, I'm literally holding the keys to my prison because I can go and I will be okay. I can go and I will be okay. And that's what I did. I actually had rent money for a year, so I didn't have to like be scattering looking for a job. I had enough money for me and my kids to be comfortable before I went out onto my next step. And it just so happened I found a nursing school that was part-time nights. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. Part-time nights, you know, I can still take care of my kids. I can still have a little piece of job. But the thing is, this is preparation. You have to prepare yourself. And one of the ways to prepare yourself is to be financially prepared. Just to be financially prepared to make the move, and then you really have to figure yourself out. Because oftentimes, I can't say it enough, we are holding ourselves prisoner to things that we don't have to, whether it be family, fear, sexual trauma, financial trauma, all these things, we're holding ourselves to it. And people always say, well, I don't make enough money. You do. If you take that money out your account before you ever see it, your lifestyle will adapt to what you have available. It will literally adapt to what you have available.
This is great. This is great. What is the next step for you? What is next? What is next? Your wedding is coming up next year. You're healing. What is next? When do you go back out on the road? Where are you going? When do you internationally travel? What's next?
So next we're actually going to the Black Nomad camping meetup in South Carolina. We'll be there
right in January.
Yes, January 8th. So we'll be going there, and then we're doing a retreat with Queen Tasha. I believe Queen Tasha is doing a women's retreat in Cancun.
Okay.
The first week of April, and I'm actually going to go. Have you ever heard of No Madness Tribe?
The what? Say it again.
No Madness Tribe.
No.
Madness. Okay, so No Madness is a group of travelers. They're over about 50,000 deep last time I checked. A whole bunch of them. Some of the friends live abroad in Mexico. So I'm actually going to go a week ahead and meet up with some of them. Oh, yes, we should do it about budgeting and saving. We really should do a video about that.
And I didn't know Foxy. I didn't know Foxy had a. Yes, I didn't know she had a YouTube channel. Foxy, drop your YouTube channel in the link.
Yeah, please
so
do.
So I can put it in my description too, because we're here to support everybody's YouTube channels. Everybody. If I build, y'all build.
And the thing is, here, financial freedom is a real thing that most people do not know what it looks like to be financially free. Because like I said, my house, I own my land. I did finance the building of the house, but I own the land.
Right.
So I don't know how you fitting to get the house back. You ain't getting the land. We're gonna be in litigation. We'll be in litigation.
Wow. I'm opening this up a little bit so people can see, because I know people are like, Ray, is that real? Is that a backdrop?
It looks fake. It looks so fake.
It looks fake, right? But it's real. Let me go out there so people can see it's real. This is Paris, yo, and that's the Eiffel Tower all the way back there. See, look, it's real, y'all.
It is.
Look at that sky.
I gotta get to Paris. I've never been to Paris.
Yo, that's the Eiffel Tower back there, yo. That's the Eiffel Tower. We see it right there. That's the Eiffel Tower right there. You see the lights? And usually when it gets night, it does the whole thing like,
it gets this,
but it's not happening right now. But and you see now you don't see the lights because the door's open and there's no glass reflecting the light. But I'm freezing, so I'm not gonna stay here too long. But yes. Did she drop her link? Did she drop? Okay, so she said, hold on. Okay, your lifestyle will adapt with what you have available. Exactly.
Yes, that's what I say all the time.
Oh, is that her? Is that her channel? Auntie Foxy Savings Challenges? Maybe that's her channel. Oh my God, my favorite in the world.
Yeah. So she posted.
Okay, so that is Foxy Brown. So yeah, maybe that is her channel. Okay, that is her channel. Okay, I wish she could drop her link though, because I could put it in the description. But I'll find it later and add it to the description. She saved over a little of $10,000 a year. Yeah, that's one thing about me, honey. Me with money. I don't play. I have major financial freedom. I have a lot of respect for money. People be like, "You respect money?" Yes, I have a degree
You
in
damn right.
finance. I have a degree in opera. So I don't play when it comes to money, honey.
It
Everything I
actually
do
changes your life. It that financial freedom changes your life. It
changes your
literally
life.
changes your life,
It
and
does. It really does. Yeah.
it opens doors that otherwise would not be open. Um, it really does. I tell people
And
I
we as
don't know what
black
it.
women, we need to learn more about financial freedom, financial independence. And I know the manosphere be talking about, oh, I don't want a woman with money. I don't want a woman with education. No one is
They
saying
don't.
that's how you
I
should
tell people all the
lead.
time. Men don't want a self-sufficient woman because he wants his woman to depend on him. But if your woman wants you, she's gonna depend on you anyway. If she wants to be in that relationship, she should not have to be a damsel in distress in order to be or create a relationship. She should be able to be strong, black, and independent and still have a strong relationship because I am a woman and you are a man. It's things that you can do that I could not do, and it's things that I don't want to do
Exactly.
that you're going to do anyway. So it doesn't make sense. It's just a weak man. A lot of men are weak, and that's because they wasn't raised right. That's
And they're
my synopsis.
socialized that way too. I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
men are socialized that way. And I just feel like in today's society, it is possible to find men that will look at Barack. I'm not saying Barack Obama's the end all be all. I don't know him, but he was very clear in choosing Michelle and why he chose Michelle. And a lot of the kings back in the Bible days, the Quran, the Torah, they talk about the queens, the wives that they chose that could rule the land if anything happened to them. So of course a king wants his wife to be able to understand what financial independence is, to be able to understand how to take care of her body, to be able to speak to people, to be eloquent, to be educated. Of course a man is going to want that. No one is saying that we have to be the man, but being financially independent and being, free and who you are doesn't make you not feminine or doesn't make you worthy enough to have a partner, right?
Right. Right.
Miss Foxy
Correct.
Brown says, don't listen to those non-select, jealous internet men. But let's go back to Marie. I love this. Fire, financial independence, retire early. It's a movement, y'all. Marie is one of my big
Yes.
sisters. She knows what I'm talking about. Financial independence, retire
Yes.
early. It's a movement. I agree. Don't
It is.
listen to those. I love that. Don't listen to those non-select jealous. But it's such a big voice though into the internet, and I think a lot of that also creates anxiety and fear for not just women but for men too.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell y'all a story because I be saying I'm gonna be
Uh-oh.
short, but I'm tell you this story. So I was dating this guy who I thought was the man of my dreams. Even to this day, I thought he was the man of my dreams. He was everything, right? So I quit my job. Mind you, I'm a nurse now. I quit my job because I'm about to go back to school and I need to be fully focused. Now I'm staying with him, but I got my own house down the street where my kids at. Kids down the street at my house, they like 16, 17 at this time. I'm quitting my job and going back to school. Don't you know he broke up with me? Because he's going to say he wasn't going to be able to support me after I quit my job. And I was like, that's the part you don't know. I quit my job, but I got enough money to pay all my bills for the whole time I'm in school and some extra. But the fact that you couldn't see my vision and you wasn't willing to take this ride with me, you wasn't all that I thought you was anyway.
Wow.
Because I quit my job. I guess I was like, these men be thinking it's one way when it's actually the other way. You think it's one way, but it's the other way.
And trust me, you got a lot of black women out here, head of the households. They say supposedly, I don't have the statistic on me, but I've read in the past that over 80% of black women are the head of households financially. So
And it's crazy
they're the
because
breadwinners.
when I see a black love, like when I see black love and I see it working, it makes my heart sing because we need to see more of that on the forefront. And that's why when we talked about the last time, that chick Angel, Tabitha Brown, Kev and Miss Kev on stage, these are everyday, regular old black people with good, strong marriages, good, strong relationships. And this is what we need to see more of. Like, let's not televise these divorces. Let's not make being a strong black single woman a thing. Because, you know, us black women, we need help out here. Yeah,
We
we
sure
make it
do.
look good. But we need help.
Exactly. We make it look easy, but we need look. Look. I'm not somebody who's gonna be like, I don't need no man. I don't want no man. I do need one. I do want one. Because let me tell you something. When I walk through the streets with a man, especially a man who knows, who has a vision, who's clear, my life is better. Let's keep it real. More. All right, here's a story. Look at Sean Unfiltered. Is it okay? Sean, you a real dude. Is it safe to say hi? Of course it's safe to say hi. He's so funny. Let me tell you a story.
Yeah, Sean, if the shoe don't fit, we must have quit. If the shoe don't fit you, Sean, you get
Hello. So you should be able to say hi. Come on in. All men, come on in. Come on. We need you. We want you here. Especially if you're a black man, come on in. We like all colors, but if you're a black man, especially you, come on in. No, I'm joking. Let me tell you a story. I was in Bamako, Mali, working on my album with this big artist. His name is Toumani Diabaté and his sons. And his representative came up to me and he was like, we're not going to do business with you. Where's your husband? I was like, I don't have a husband. You mean like a manager? They were like, no, not a manager. Like, where is your husband? I was like, I don't have a husband. They were like, we can't do business with you. We can't talk business. I was like, but it's my money. They were like, it's your money? I was like, yeah, it's my money. They were like, okay, still no, we're not working with you. You need a man. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll still work with you. It's not like I'm upset with you. I still want to work with you, but you don't want to work with me. So thank you very much. I'm leaving. Toumani hears me leaving. He's like, Ray, where you going? I'm like, your representative said he doesn't want to do business with me. He's like, look, Ray, that's my representative. He's African. You're speaking to him in French. You're talking to me in English. I know how this goes. Sit down. We're going to do business together. But I understand the power of a man and the power of a man leading and being the buffer between me and the world. And
that's all I want.
Come on, y'all. Let's really be real. I'm not one of these black women in these streets over here talking about I don't need no. I need a man. I need a black man, and I'll take a white man, but I envision a man of color. And as I get older and as I travel this world, this is what I want. So you inspire me. Fia, who's been with her husband for 30 years, happily married, solid relationship, traveling, van life, SUV life, and they work together. Y'all are inspirational to me. Y'all let me know that this is possible for me. It can happen. I got to stay steadfast, keep doing the work, and it'll come through. What do you think, girl? I know I said we're going to stop talking, but we still talking and the chat is on fire right now.
This is what people don't realize. Like, I don't want to be having to call business associates, dealing with them. That's what my man is for. Like, when we pull up at the house, my man can take the house out, make sure it's safe for me to enter. Listen, them airports. I cannot be managing all these bags at the airport. And I'm not saying that's all a man is for, but it's those little things that make such a big difference. You just say, hi. Somebody got my back. Somebody's going to make sure that I got to sleep peaceful tonight. And it's that security. It's just a security blanket that having a good man by your side, that not only do y'all live life together, y'all can do business together. Y'all make plans together. And you know that's your person and you're his person. It's some level of comfort in it that I think every woman should experience.
I agree. I'm going to tell you a story. I was one time with my lawyer. He's a white man. And we were traveling somewhere for business. And we were having issues with our tickets. Yo! You know, when I raised my voice, I'm an angry black woman, you know. Well, he raised his voice and it was like Moses, like the waters just opened. I was like, the power of a man, let alone a white man, but the power of a man who is with me, who's leading the way. And let me tell you something, in my real life, like in my business life, I'm very, very strong. But I want, when I get home, I'm as weak. I'm a damsel in distress. To me, that's what Black feminism is, yo. Black feminism to me is having all the rights that everybody else has while being easy and free about it. That's Black feminism to me. I want the same rights. I want to be educated. I want to understand money. I want to do business. I want to be paid. Okay, maybe I'm not going to be paid exactly the same, but I want the same rights. But I also want to be easy and luxurious and just a damsel in distress and soft,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. That's all we want. It ain't nothing like being able to come home and be your normal self. Because when you're out here doing business and working with people, I have to send my representative. I send my representative to do all my business. But then when it's time to come home, I have to come home as my normal self. I have to come home as my normal self. And I tell people all the time, you don't pay for Tina Marie. You pay for Miss Thompson, the nurse. That's what you pay for. Because Tina Marie would have been cussed y'all out and got indignant. But, you know, you don't want to always have to be that and able to come home and just be unwind with someone. You know what? It's the travel. I travel all around the world by myself. And I always get to a place and I'm like, this would be so nice if I had Bay with me. If there was a Bay here seeing this, it would be amazing. I'm on yachts for a week. I was like, oh, it would be so amazing if I had a Bay to do yacht week with. You know what I mean? It hit different. It just hits different.
I agree. I agree. I it's 2022. And if I'm honest, it's something that I'm praying for. It's something that I'm envisioning. And I'm really opening myself up to a relationship. And I hear I have so many male friends, you know, because that's just, I don't have a lot of male friends. And they're like, Ray, you're not going to find a dude who's going to be okay with you traveling and a dude who's going to be okay with you. Blah, blah. And then one friend of mine said to me, he was like, Ray, all you need is that. And although Foxy's like, we don't need unicorns, we just open ourselves up more, right? But it is possible. He said, Ray, your guy is that guy that's already doing it. That's out there in the nonprofits. That's in West Africa working. He's doing it. And your work, the content that you're creating, the pursuit of happiness and freedom through your artistry will join you. The universe will move into alignment and create that for you. You just got to do the work and be open and step out of the fear and move into the state of believing, which is the first thing you said. Brilliant. So good. Yeah. So good. We are tired of having to be strong. We want softness. Yes.
Yes, we are, Foxy.
High vibe. High vibe. Hey, Merry Christmas. So tell me one last thing before we go that you want to end this with, that you want to leave this with. I just want to say thank you. And guys, if you haven't liked, please like, share this with your friends. Brase is a total rock star if you're just now joining. She shared, so much on this stream. I really think you guys should go back, rewatch, re-listen. She said so many things. She dropped so many gems. So really go back. So what will you leave us with today, Miss Tina Marie, Miss Brase?
I would just like to say, every day is a fresh start, and you should live every day as a fresh start. You do not have to be today who you were yesterday. So that's the good thing about the grand rising. You can rise as whoever you want to be. The decisions you made yesterday, you do not have to stand by them. The one decision you have the one right you have as an adult is to change your mind. And always remember that. I think sometimes we stay in situations longer than we should because we feel committed to it. But you don't have
say
to
that again. Say that again, please.
We stay in situations longer than we should because we feel committed. But at any given time, you can change your mind and create a new commitment because you have to choose yourself first. You have to be the center of your universe. And anytime you're making decisions and you're not in the center of it, don't make it. Don't make it. And don't ever feel pressure. If the decision I'm making,
that again, if you're not in the center of your decision, say that again. That is brilliant.
Yes, if you're not in the center of any decision or opportunity, then don't do it. Because if you're not in the center, you're on the outside, and you're disposable. The lack of a better word, you're disposable. That's why everything you do has to put you in the center. Everything. Put yourself first, and listen. Build it, and they will come. Build it, and they will come. Ray is building a platform, and they are coming. They are coming. And her husband is coming. He's over there building his platform. She's building her platform. Next thing you know, we're going to have a whole bridge.
Yes, I receive it.
And one thing I want to tell you, and I told Ray this the first time I met her, I am vulnerable and honest with people because it allows me to build fulfilling strong friendships. I feel like when you hold back and don't let people know who you are, where you've been through, your relationship tends to be transparent or flaky or whatever, because it's like, you don't really know me. You don't know what I've been through. Like, I try to really be transparent because I never know if something I've been through might help someone else. So if I don't talk about it, and if I don't be vulnerable and honest, I don't know in which way I can actually help someone else, because we're so closed off. And as Black women, we tend to be fearful of other Black women because of our history of backbiting, crabs in a barrel. But the only way we can eliminate that thought and that process is to start being more open, more vulnerable, having platforms like this where people can talk openly. You can reach out to someone who may have been through what you've been through and, assist. I know a lot of people have been through my story. This was a time when parents would force abortion on kids, just force them, hold them down and make them get it. And so I know that is a subject for people like, how could you have done it? How could you have done it so many times? Because I know I seen my future and I didn't see that in my future. I did not.
Right.
And I learned about spermicides.
Right.
Some spermicides.
And exactly. And one last thing before you go, what is the one thing you'll tell the women out there who are afraid to leave, who are stuck from 2021 to 2022? What would be a piece of advice? I remember the other three things you talked about was financial freedom, moving from where you are, financial freedom, moving from where you are, and therapy. So what's one mantra or one piece of advice or one phrase to end it that you would tell these women who are afraid to leaving, me included, that what we can do differently from 2021 to 2022?
What I say is build the community. Just build your own community. Like, that's what I'm doing now. When I met Ray, I was like, see, I got another sister in my community. I met DG, another sister in my community that's like-minded, doing what I'm doing, that I know not only keep me mentally grounded, physically grounded too, because we're of like minds. People don't realize you grow out of friends. You grow out of them. Sometimes you grow a different way, they grow a different way. So you have to really build a community. And it has to be a community of your choosing that leads you in the way that you need to be led, that helps you when you need to be helped. So that's the last thing I can say. Build your own community. You don't know.
Sort of like Harriet Tubman built her own community. Harriet Tubman built her own community. She was a leader like you, a nurse leader. She was a hero. She was a Moses, and she built her own community, and she freed a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing here. Brase, we're building a community.
Yeah. Brase, I love you. I know I literally just virtually met you last week, but I was so inspired by you. I was like, oh my God, we can't wait till the next panel with the other van lifers, which we'll have in January. I wanted to get you on before the end of the year. I knew you'd be inspirational to women of all ages. Thank you so much. Stay on the live. I'm going to end it, but just stay on the live because we're going to continue backstage. But thank you so much. Much love to all of you who are here on this live and in the live chat. Miss Foxy, Miss High Vibe, Miss Tiffany, Miss Natalie, Sean. Let me scroll through and see who I'm missing. What it do, DG? That's how I met you. So, we really got to be thankful to her. Foxy Brown, I'm going to get her link and put that in. Marie, Lise. Oh, these are my sister girls. Yes. Thank the Turner Project. Thank you so much, y'all, for being a part of this live chat. And for those of you who are just watching us, thank you so much. Hilia, Natalie, thank you. We love you. And we will see you guys on the other side. And I'm going to close out with my outro. And it's Brase. Is there anything else you want to say before I put the outro in?
I'm on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Brase Nomad. Brase with an S. The S is for service.
There you go. You guys heard it. See you on the other side. Bye, y'all.